So the housing market is well on its way to recovery, but there's one factor that's hindering our progress. Let's talk about that thing and July's numbers today. So we're talking numbers today. The one question a lot of people are asking is, how's the market, especially in the wake of COVID? And today we're going to give you the 30,000 foot view so that then we can break it down into our local market, which is the southwest section of the Pittsburgh market. So today we're going to talk about three things. The first thing is the level of showing activity that we are seeing nationwide since January, which is a really good indication of the overall health of the real estate market. The second thing that we're going to talk about is answering the question of, are house prices going up or are they going down as the result of COVID? Obviously, nobody has a crystal ball, but we can give you some expert predictions today. And the third thing we are talking about is the number one factor that is hindering the progress of our current real estate market, or maybe I should say hindering the potential of our current real estate market. So those things we're going to talk about today. So let's take a look at our showing activity. So one way we really look at the overall health of our real estate market is by looking at the buyer activity that's taking place. So if you take a look at this slide from Showing Time, it actually shows all of the weekly showing numbers that were logged by buyers every week since January. And as you notice, the showing started to decrease in March as a result of the COVID outbreak. By the beginning of May, we recovered to the same number of showings per week that we were seeing in January. And by the end of May, we recovered to the same number of showings we were seeing right before COVID began. So as you can see now, our number of showings have increased significantly nationwide. And if we're talking about the local data here in Pittsburgh, I can tell you from experience that houses often are selling in 24 to 48 hours. And if you look at the number of showings that are available in those 24 to 48 hours that the house is actually on the market, there may only be 1 or 2 showing slots available. They are literally booked from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every single half an hour in between. And so what I will tell you from experience is that buyer activity here in the South Hills of Pittsburgh is through the roof. And that's a really good indication of the overall health of our market here in the southwest section of Pittsburgh. So let's talk about the second factor, which is house prices. A lot of people want to know, how is COVID impacting my home's value? Are home prices going up or are they going down as a result of COVID? Now, what I will say is that nobody has a crystal ball, but we do have some great predictions from some leading economists on what they feel home values will do. And then we're also going to look at the local data. So if we take a look at the local data here in the southwest section of Pittsburgh, the average sales price in the month of June was $292,603. If we take a look at last June, so the same time in 2019, the average sales price was $281,957. So obviously that is an increase. And even in May, we saw similar increases in home values. So prices are still appreciating, which is great news. And if we take a look at this slide, you'll see that most of the experts listed on this slide believe that we'll see appreciation even in 2020. And this is not any level of appreciation, guys. A normal year's appreciation in Pittsburgh is 3.6%. We have 3 groups on this slide alone predicting over 3% appreciation in 2020, which is actually a normal level of appreciation. So home values are looking good, guys. If they are anticipating 3% or above appreciation in home values in a year where we have a global pandemic, we'll take it. And they're predicting even better values in the future. So home values are not on the decrease. We see no indication whatsoever that home values are going to decrease as a result of COVID. So let's talk about our third factor. And this is the one thing that we see really hindering the potential of the real estate market that we're in right now. And that factor is inventory. I feel like I've said it 1,000 times, but we have no homes to sell. We have so few homes on the market. Buyers are out there looking, but there's just not enough houses to sell them. The inventory that we have is being gobbled up and then some by the buyer demand that we have. So there are buyers out there wanting to buy, but we don't have enough houses to show them. And if we look at the end of the month of June, there were only 455 homes active for sale. 455. If we take a look a year ago, in June 2019, there were 644 homes for sale at that time last year. So obviously that is a fairly significant decrease in the levels of homes that we are seeing on the market actively for sale. So make no mistake, the real estate market is poised to bring the US economy out of the recession that we are in right now. We're going to be a leading factor in helping the US economy recover. But we could do so much more and have such a bigger impact if there were more homes to sell. And so I feel like, again, I've said it 1,000 times, but if you know of anyone who has had thoughts of selling, if you yourself have had thoughts of selling, give us a call. Let's chat about your options. The potential for sellers in this market, the opportunity for sellers in this market is massive, and now might just be the perfect time for you to sell your home and capitalize on that potential. So the number one factor that we're seeing that's hindering the progress of the real estate recovery or hindering the potential of the real estate market that we're in right now is low levels of inventory. If we had more houses with each transaction, we could pump more money into the US economy and we could have such a bigger positive impact on the US recovery if we had more homes to sell. So those are the three factors we're talking about. I know this is a lot of information, guys, so maybe this is a video you have to watch 2 or 3 times and maybe share it with a friend who might also need this information. But I thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. Thanks again for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.